Harper Perennial and HarperAudio present Where They Lie, a novel by Claire Coughlan, performed by Aoife Mcmahon. Chapter 1. Monday, 23rd of December, 1968. Some stories demand to be told. They keep coming back, echoing down through the decades until they find a teller. There must have been a time before when silence prevailed, and Nicoletta's days and nights weren't filled with the hum of voices, guttural shouts of "copy" at the copy boys' pattering stampede across the grubby lino to grab the black page from the waiting reporter and take it to the case room. But she likes to think her life began here, was forged at this wall of noise. The clack-clack of typewriters is a sound she'll never tire of if she lives to be 80. The Irish Sentinel holds her in the present. It makes sense in a way nothing else does. She observes this peculiar space properly now the newsroom is almost empty. The strip lighting and wide curtainless windows, fogged with condensation, laying bare the souls within, puts her in mind of a stage. She misses the sound of the typewriters now they have fallen still. One of the two copy boys on duty is asleep under his coat, his snores oozing along the floor like spilled coffee. The printing presses have yet to start rolling in the basement, signalling the end of the shift as surely as church bells. But there is already talk of giving up the ghost and going to a nearby pub for some welcome festive cheer. Nicoletta sits resolute, her back ramrod straight. She hasn't been invited on the premature flit to the pub, as she's been tasked with working the night town shift. She feeds each hour with regular phone calls to Dublin's Garda stations: Pearse Street, Harcourt Street, Store Street, Dunleary, Howth. Each time someone answers, she hesitates before saying a variation on the same thing. It's like a rehearsed party piece, glib and sing-song. It never comes out quite the way it did in her head. And each time, she gets the same reply: nothing doing. It's Christmas, after all. Good evening, Nicoletta Sarto calling from the Sentinel. Anything to report? Okay, thank you. Happy Christmas! Bye. Bye. She's ashamed of the blush that spreads across her cheeks as she replaces the receiver in its cradle, the toll of easing out the words contrasting with Barney, Price, and Dermot's brash nonchalance. The men speak each other's language. They have long-established relationships with the guards, connections that zigzag across colliding ley lines. Presumably their hearts don't hammer in their chests every time they pick up the phone. What's the story? Grand. Buzz you back in a while. Cheers. Barney, the assistant news editor, sits at his desk, shuffling papers from his in-tray, sighing. She watches him stand up and begin to circle the largely empty room like a nervous hawk, crossing from the news desk to make the occasional call. She longs for him to come over and take one of Dermot's cigarettes, half leaning against her desk to talk. But he doesn't. Dermot, a fellow reporter, is nowhere to be seen, and Barney doesn't lift his head in her direction. A question hangs in the air between them, heavy as stale smoke. She gets up to look out on the dark blanket of sky. Even the stars are hiding. She leans against the windowsill and waits for something, anything. She is good at waiting, at picking her moment. She accepts that sometimes there are no stories. That's when it's time to sit back and listen. She'll wonder in the ensuing days and years which twist of fate led them to Gloria Fitzpatrick in that late-night lull, as though by design. It starts with a throwaway remark from Duffy, the editor. He joins Nicoletta at the window, resting most of his compact, meaty frame against a squat metal filing cabinet, lighting
Sample complete. Ready to continue?